Hey guys, my name is RyanCentral, welcome to HitScan, and today we're talking about all of the brand new information that's come out today on the new agent. We got a lot of information. It breaks down into four main areas: the general talk, where they're from, what they're going to do; the second being a big change into the role that they're going to be playing in, which is the initiator; all of the data mine stuff from stuff like Valor leaks, abilities, those kind of things, and also finishing on a secret source, the main secret thing that I think is going to make this agent amazing that some of you guys might not appreciate / know about. But that's not all. We can tell you when the Nightmarket is going to be coming in, as well as which agent is going to be getting a buff to their ultimate fairly soon. This video is also sponsored by Alienware. We'll talk about them in a second. We'll start with the general information. A couple of weeks ago, Valor Leaks found some of the data mine stuff on the new agent, including their code name, which is Bounty Hunter. But we have a little bit more. The last paragraph in this article says this: I've been searching my thoughts of all of the words to type here. I keep having this recurring nightmare that I'm not going to finish the battle pass. I'm scared of the grind, but hey, everyone has a fear. This text at the end is in Turkish. The next agent is going to be from Turkey, and they're also going to be an initiator. We even have a picture to go down on this a little more. We have this art, which we have seen a couple of times in game as far as I know, so this is something that you might even recognize. But a big focus on a Pepe Sylvia board, I suppose, with Cypher right in the middle, a message from Sofa, which is unreadable currently, but that's the tease that we have so far. We now also know a lot about the agent's identity. Every agent in Valorant has its own identity, right? The way that it's meant to be played. Chamber is this guy with all of this crazy utility and weaponry. Neon is the speedster, playing fast, playing very aggressive as a duelist. Astra is the slow global controller that can control all of the map at once. And this next initiator is going to be based on fear. The next agent should give you a more intimate feeling when hunting down enemies. Of course, there is our theme, but the thought of giving away too much frightens me, so I'll leave that out. Considering we have the tagline, everyone has a fear, this agent is codenamed Bounty Hunter, and there's a lot of little hints about nightmares, intimate feelings, fears, frightens. This agent is going to be basically Scarecrow, I suppose, from Batman, that is going to try and scare off enemies, which gives us a lot to work with. However, there is a big topic about initiators and ultimately what this new initiator is going to come into the game and try and do. The devs go into a lot of detail about that. They start off saying that agents take 12 to 15 months to develop, and we focus on questions like what is missing from current core playstyles, are there thematics that present big opportunities, what is needed for the game's health, etc. And we've seen examples of this in the past. Very recently, Chamber and Neon are there to compete against Jet. Chamber as an op-in agent that isn't directly a duelist, so you can still have sentinel utility whilst also popping off with big guns, and Neon, an agent that is faster than Jet, that is much better on the entry, but not as good as opping. You have options now if you're a Jet player, and that's what we've been seeing in the pro scene. However, there is one agent that has no real competition. He's going to be played a lot of the time, and that is Sova. There have been a lot of conversations within the character team about initiators, specifically Sova. His initiation tools are unique in that they rely on reconnaissance and information gathering to give you and the team tools to decide your next step. So much of Valorant's tactical loop revolves around information, knowing where the enemies are / not, and exploiting that info to execute during the sliver of a window that is key to many successful wins. So an agent that revolves around the information gathering aspect of the tactical loop has been a priority. And then they go over the secret source, reason why I think this agent is going to be absolutely amazing, but you're going to have to wait and see on that one. Before we move on to the data mines, here's a quick shout out to Alienware and me from about a week ago. So there's a bit of a travel update. It's quarter to midnight where I am at the moment, and I'm currently in Germany. I'm in Berlin, and I've just got done working a week on the Valorant Champions Tour broadcast here in Europe. It comes with its own struggles, right? Working away from home, I don't have my amazing PC to make videos from, and the setups are far from ideal. The internet here, by the way, is terrible. But one of the things that I'm very thankful for is working with Alienware. They set me up with the M15R5 laptop. You've seen this plenty of times whilst I've been away. Again, I could highlight the amazing AMD Ryzen 5000 series of CPU, which means that editing videos, streaming, even just playing the game Valorant, I don't need to worry about performance in any of it. But also an NVIDIA GeForce GTX graphics card, 30 series graphics card, means that I can enjoy how it looks, a QHD display, all of that power and performance and amazing stuff in 15 inches that's a couple of kilograms heavy. But also thinking about last month, Alienware brought out the X15 and X14 laptops. I got to try out the X14 when I went to Scarborough a little bit early, and that kind of performance on a 14-inch laptop that was even lighter
We've got to a point now where gaming laptops are no longer a meme, and I think that Alienware is genuinely spearheading the technology to put amazing performance and power into a small, remote setup that you can take anywhere, and I think I'm an example of that. It's also becoming more and more affordable to get a gaming laptop, and it making sense for a lot of people. So I definitely recommend that you guys check out in the description and top comment. There's a link to some of the laptops. Just have a peruse. See what interests you, what you can keep an eye on for the future if the prices drop again, or there's a sale on, for example. The technology that these guys are coming out with gaming-wise is phenomenal, and I'm very thankful to be working with them. I'm very thankful for you watching this. Now let's get back to the news.
Section 3, I wanted to talk about the Datamined ability. And all of this comes together nicely. So we know that this agent is codenamed Bounty Hunter, but another thing that was datamined is the fact that this agent has a totem ability. Now, whether it's like a shaman totem in World of Warcraft remains to be seen. We can talk about that a little bit more, but what VALORANT says, and he knows a lot about this kind of stuff, is that the totem ability could be like a drone, like an owl drone or a sky trailblazer. Does abilities that you spawn something from and you control to spot out information, which is very much in line with what initiators bring to the table, and honestly, the strongest abilities in the game as far as I'm concerned. But before we go into some of the speculation around that, let's talk about the secret source of this agent and why I think it's going to be the perfect thing for Valorant. The dev article goes back to saying that within that space, we had a dream for something new. So when Nikwu joined the team, who was part of premium content, we'll talk about him in a second, don't worry, we put his expert eyes on this opportunity. Our focus early on was identifying unique gameplay differences within the realm of recon/info, and landed in a space that has more localized initiation and recon tools. Bear in mind that there's a lot of lines in this article that is more like intimate feelings, localized initiation, reconnaissance and information gathering. So if we actually go back to this totem ability, I think it's going to be something like this. Ignore the fact that I'm playing Killjoy and I'm putting down an alarm bot. Imagine I'm playing a new agent, and instead of placing an alarm bot, I place down a totem that after a second or two pulses out like a recon dart. It gives me information on anybody playing in the close quarters. I think this agent is going to have recon dart-like abilities to tag where people are, but with more of a focus on people being nearby on some of these cheeky corners with a shorty. That's where I think there's going to be a lot of impact from this agent. But why am I so excited about it? It's the fact that it's Nikwu that's involved in this. Nikwu is a retired League of Legends player that works on a Valorant team, so it's not really relevant to what he brings as a tack shooter player, but one thing that Nikwu reminded me of is this video way back in April 2020. When the game was in the closed beta, there was a show match between the Valorant devs and some of the ex-pro players like Flom, Shroud, Nothing, those loaded GG guys basically. And the devs absolutely destroyed the streamers, as they should do. But one of the star players to watch in this was Nikwu, who was playing Sova, and he effectively was the average Jonas before average Jonas was average Jonas, you know what I mean? Nikwu knew everything about how to make the most out of Sova. He knew the impact, he knew how strong it was. So when you give somebody that is an expert on that kind of agent that is so pivotal to the game, and you go make something that can compete against that, we're going to have an agent that actually puts Sova in a bit of a sweat when it comes to competition. Not only that, when you go back to this picture, it's Sova on the left hand side, it's a focus on Cypher, which has a lot to do with the lore, no doubt, but it wouldn't surprise me if this agent is a bit of Cypher and Sova combined to make something new, especially when it comes to close quarters initiation tools in comparison to Sova that can get information from 40 yards away with a really nice recon dart. No pressure, Nikwu, but everything that this guy has brought to Sova has changed how the game has worked. And this was just when he was playing it. Like the dev article says, he was part of the premium content team. He was making gun buddies and skins and involved in that. Now he's involved in making some of the agents because he understands abilities from League of Legends and also was an expert on playing Sova when there were no other Sova experts in the game. I'm really excited to see what this agent is going to bring to the table, and I think that the devs have done an amazing job with the agents that they've brought in ever since Astra. KO's been great, and Chamber and Neon have fixed the Jet problem that this game has had. Chamber's pick rate's gone up, Jet's has gone down, and even Neon's been played, albeit Neon needs a little bit of help, which is exactly what the devs are going to be giving her. Victor from Optic, a player for the VCT that qualified to Iceland, by the way, that qualified for Masters 1, put out a tweet saying that he wanted to buff Neon's ultimate, and Victor is a player that actually picks up Neon quite frequently, so he knows what he's talking about. And Raikou, a person that we've had on the channel, one of the main people that works on agents like Neon, like KO, actually put the eyes emoji, so it seems that Neon is getting a buff, and specifically to her ultimate, which at low levels can have impact if you're just being farmed by a smurf, but at the higher tiers, really doesn't find all that much. There's a couple of examples of pro plays where the ultimate comes out, and the enemy team just run away, and the ultimate finds near enough nothing. And finally, to just finish on, the Nightmarket will be starting on April the 7th and lasted till April the 20th. This comes from VALORANT as well, some Datamined information. So that'll be starting next Wednesday/Thursday, depending on where you are, and lasting for 2 weeks, which should be ending roughly around the same time as this act. So by the time that the Nightmarket's done, we will have a better understanding and a better look at what this new agent is going to be. I hope that answered a lot of your questions about what they're going to be, why you can tell I'm excited about what this new agent can bring to the table. And that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. Shout out to Alienware again for sponsoring this video. And until next time, take care. We'll see you then.